Hey, y'all ready for a little mortgage fun? Back, Brandon Lewis with Integrity Home Mortgage, residential mortgage lender since 2002. We're putting out great videos to help clients navigate the mortgage process while buying a home. We're also providing great information for clients with existing mortgages. What is the escrow shortage? A loan transfer letter, things like that. So we always want to provide great information, whether you're buying the home, an existing homeowner, or even just scratching the surface of the idea. If that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button. Let's click that sucker hard. That way you're not missing out on any of the great information coming forward. Today's topic, 1031 exchange, right? What's that, most people are saying? All right, so the 1031 exchange is a program put in place, it's a tax code put in place by the government back in 1921. Of course, a lot's changed between 1921 and 2021. All right, so the first reason the government created this was to prevent unfair taxation on ongoing real estate investments. We're going to dive more into that in a second. All right, the second goal, obviously this was a great benefit for investors. This was to encourage home buying. Investors, get out there, buy some homes, provide affordable housing to other folks out there. In simplified terms, a 1031 exchange allows investors to defer paying taxes on real estate by rolling profits into their next investment. Sounds great, right? It's a great way to pass generational wealth to your heirs as well. So several benefits to the 1031 exchange. Again, this is primarily going to be directed towards the investor. So let's explore, when would we possibly pay gains and what exactly would a 1031 exchange be beneficial? All right, so real quick, let's just lay out a simple sales scenario and look at what kind of gains we may see. So let's say an investor bought a home for $100,000. All right, years later, they're now going to sell it for $300,000. Okay, that's a $200,000 increase in the property. That is the gains. All right, so we have a $200,000 gain on that particular investment property itself. Let's say we're at a 25% tax basis. That's going to be a $50,000 tax liability to you. Now, in the current tax code, we can roll this expense over into the next investment property. And obviously that was a tremendous benefit for investors, right? Now you can see that, well, if they get hit with that expense, that tax liability of $50,000, that's gonna hurt, right? So, all right, so that's what the program is. Again, 1031 exchange simply allows you to defer or roll capital gains taxes into your next investment property purchase. All right, so what is President Biden talking about? He's stating that he wants to eliminate the 1031 exchange on any gains greater than $500,000. Sounds like a large number, but as we just broke down the numbers a few minutes ago, we just saw how one simple investor could have a $200,000 gain on just one real estate investment property. And keep in mind, when investors are doing the 1031 exchange, most times they're doing multiple properties at one time. So we can quickly see how those gains can multiply. All right, so that's what's on the chopping block. That's what he's presenting, is capital gains above $500,000, and this is all versions of the 1031 exchange, will be capped at that $500,000 mark. So let's look at who this is going to impact, right? Is this going to hit the big guys that are buying, multi-unit properties like apartments, or is this going to hit the small investor that has, 10 investment properties? So looking at some stats from the National Association of Realtors, right? Great source there. But let's break down what percentage of 1031 exchanges were done by big investors versus the small guys, right? Like most of the clients that I'm working with. So over a period of 2016 to 2019, the National Association of Realtors stats state that 84% of 1031 exchanges were completed by small businesses or small investors. If we break down the 84% of the 1031 exchanges that were completed during that time, 47% were completed by sole proprietorships, right? You're just filing your rental property on a Schedule E on your taxes. It's not filed under an LLC or anything like that. So sole proprietorship That's a big chunk of it. 47% of the 84% of people that did 1031 exchanges were sole proprietors. All right, that's the small guys. They're going to get hit. The next one is S corporations. This was 37% of that 84% that went through the 1031 exchange process. So again, small investors. These are the clients that I'm working with on a daily basis. You know, the S corporation just means that you got your properties listed in an LLC. You got 1120 tax form that you're filing, very different than you would as a sole proprietor, but yet still these small investors. So my concern here is that we are going to have some unintended consequences, in my opinion. It's going to hit some of those smaller investors harder, and I think it may be a little harder hit than what we think, with the cap being at 500,000. Keep in mind, this was on President Biden's first 100-day goals. It obviously didn't happen in that time frame, but it's still around. It's a part of his tax plan. So as new information develops, I will keep you posted on that. But as of right now, 1031 exchange is possibly on the chopping block. All right, if you like what I'm putting down, please hit that subscribe button. If you have a question that you'd like me to answer, send it to us in the comments as well to answer any direct questions from our subscribers. So please subscribe, stay in the know, and don't miss any mortgage tips.